So I was sitting here about to make a video kind of embracing, kind of resigning to the fact the Warriors are not gonna, they're not gonna go get this all-star. It's just gonna be the young guys and Steph and Draymond. And I'm trying to convince myself that this is gonna be fun, yada yada. And then I see they sign Kyle Anderson. And that's a big deal because we all know Kyle Anderson has all-star potential. That is a joke. I really like Kyle Anderson, but now this team has Kyle Anderson, GP2, Draymond Green, Kuminga, and Looney all on the same roster. To me, that doesn't sound like a team that's done making moves. To me, that sounds like a team that is about to trade for a shooter, specifically a big shooter. And we all know the best case scenario would be Lauri Markkanen. I didn't really think it was a possibility, but this move tells me the Warriors think it might be a real possibility. And a backup plan if that doesn't happen. What about Michael Porter Jr.? I feel like that's the middling option, especially since it seems like the Nuggets are a little bit worried about their money going forward. They're gonna have to pay Aaron Gordon coming up. Reportedly, they're about to pay Jamal Murray as well. So they might like a deal like Wiggins' deal, and Wiggins might provide real value for them. The Warriors might be able to get MPJ without giving up Kuminga, where I don't think there's a world they get Lauri Markkanen without giving up Kuminga. And to me, the worst case scenario is they get someone like a Bobby Portis, maybe even a Brook Lopez, one of those Milwaukee bigs. But to me, those are the main three options, guys we've heard about already: Lauri Markkanen, MPJ, Bobby Portis. And I really feel that way because, like, say in a crazy world they were trying to get DeMar DeRozan. I don't think you go out and get DeAnthony Melton and Kyle Anderson to pair with DeMar DeRozan, or a Brandon Ingram, right? Similar players, right? You guys let me know, am I tripping? I know DeAnthony Melton is a decent shooter. Moody's a decent shooter. Wiggins is a decent shooter. Kuminga, if Steve Kerr would let him shoot, is a okay shooter, right? Draymond made his threes, but he's not going to take a bunch. Looney, like, it's pretty obvious this team is going out there to try to find a shooter next. Only question is that going to be a star, or a starter, or just, a very decent six-man, sometimes starter like Bobby Portis, right? I don't want to go too in depth because who knows, by the time I upload this, there might already be a trade that happens. But regardless of what happens, I'm extremely excited for this next chapter of Steph Curry, because I do feel like he's going to have to adapt his game. Something I've been talking about really the last 2 years. When you look at this team, or the past team, right? After Jordan Poole left, really, you had Wiggins, you had Klay Thompson, you had Kuminga, you had Moody, you had Trayce Jackson-Davis. All guys that need a real point guard. And I hate saying real point guard because that's what people say to slight Steph. And I feel like most of his career, all that noise was a little bit, people not even watching the games. People just want to say something to discredit Steph. But the last year and maybe the last 2 years of Steph, the point guard responsibilities have really been down to a minimum. And if this team is not getting another primary shot creator, right? Even if they get Lauri Markkanen's not running your offense. So even if they get him, if they get MPJ, they're not getting a Brandon Ingram or Paul George or DeMar DeRozan that could help run your offense. They're getting players that need a great point guard next to him. So I'm excited for that next chapter in Steph Curry's life in his career, whatever you guys want to call it. But Steph Curry always said the two guys he modeled his game after were Reggie Miller and Steve Nash. I'm pretty sure it was Reggie Miller, right? Maybe Ray Allen. I'm pretty sure it was Reggie Miller. And I think this team needs more of the Steve Nash than the Reggie Miller. Obviously, Steph Curry is going to be effective off ball. We know that's what makes him special. But this team needs a true point guard, and I'm excited for Steph to enter this new era, because I do feel like he can be just as impactful if the points go down a little bit and the assists go up. If he's averaging 24 points and 8 assists, like MVP Steph, first year MVP Steph, I really feel like he can be just as impactful. Now, this team in particular, unless they add another scorer off the bench, unless they're able to get like a Jordan Clarkson and a Lauri Markkanen deal, Steph would still probably have to average 25, 26 points a game. And they do have Pods, right? Assuming Pods is not going in a deal. I'm kind of assuming the Warriors are going to try to keep Pods at all costs. But if they have to give up Pods, they're probably going to give up Pods. But I think Pods might be safe. But if they do keep Pods, they have him, they have Kyle Anderson, they have Draymond Green, obviously, and who knows what happens with Looney. So it's not like he doesn't have anybody that can pass him the ball. At the same time, though, I feel like it would be a lot more Steph on the ball creating for other people But like I said, I'm gonna keep it short. Who knows what happens if a trade goes down, if a trade doesn't go down. If the Warriors start their year with this, there's no way they're starting with this roster. They're gonna make a move, like I said. Maybe it's not Lowry, maybe it's MPJ, maybe it's Bobby Portis, maybe it's another shooter I'm not even thinking about. But they're gonna make a big splash here, or try to make a big splash for a real shooting presence, probably in the front court. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a like, please drop a comment, please subscribe. I'm out. Peace.